Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be making an updated hero wishlist guide and also covering the Paragon priority for the key PvP heroes. So let's go ahead and begin with the Lightbearer faction. For the S levels, there are two key Lightbearer heroes you want to upgrade. Sonya for the PvE Dream Realm content and Siren for PvP and some niche AFK stage usage. However, you should get one copy of Rowan before you upgrade, begin building up Siren. But yeah, Siren will help you in PvP. Sonya will help you for some Dream Realm boss content. Both really important heroes, and after you're done with both of them, you can also build up Rowan, like all the way to Supreme Plus. Now for Paragon upgrade priority for the S level Lightbearers, it is going to be Siren and also Perseus. These are going to be the two key PvP damage dealers that you would want to upgrade in Paragon if you are focusing PvP. Rowan is another good option because he is useful in a lot of PvP teams, but as a supportive role. But of course, because Paragon stats give your whole team the inspiration, intimidation, you will want to Paragon upgrade Rowan as well if you're planning to use him in PvP. But the other Lightbearer heroes are very skippable, like Vala, Temesia, Cassidy, Atalanta. These are all heroes you can skip. You do not need to worry about building them. And we talked about the Paragon priorities. For the A-level Lightbearers, the two big ones you want to build first are Hugin and Zany. Hugin has a lot of use for Dream Realm, but also a lot of use for AFK stages, and he's also very good in PvP. He's an all-around best A-level Lightbearer hero. Zany, though, is the second best because she has some Dream Realm usage, she has some AFK stage usage. She's a good hero to be building and investing into, but the third one you would want to build after you're done with Hugin and Zany, all the way to Supreme Plus, then you can begin building Sinbad. Now, Sinbad has fallen out of the meta. He's not really in the top teams for Dream Realm bosses anymore. However, there's always that occasional chance where he is going to have usage, even in a top team. And so definitely I do think you should be building up Sinbad as well as your third Lightbearer A-level, and then you're basically done. Now for Paragon priority, the big ones for Paragon upgrade are going to be Hugin, and along with that, I would say Zany as well, because Zany can be used in PvP. She isn't necessarily the top tier, however, because there are limited options for A-level Lightbearers, she would be the second best Paragon priority. Now for other A-level Lightbearers you want to build up, I would say Faye would probably be the fourth one. Faye saw use in Nocturne Judicator Dream Realm boss this season. Now that boss is probably going to be leaving the rotation, and then maybe Faye won't be good, but Faye always gets a good charm quality bonus each season. She's pretty good in PvP as well. You can even Paragon upgrade her, and she has some AFK stage usage as well. So really, these four Lightbearers, these are the big ones you want to be building. And really Hugin, Zany, and then maybe even Faye for Paragon upgrades. That's basically it. Merrily has some use for Ravage Rum. So if you want to really cap out for Ravage Rum and you are a new player, I would say build up Merrily because she usually is going to be helpful there. But like the other A-level Lightbearers, you can skip them. They're not important to be building. Now for the S-level Maulers, we have Galahad and Smokey. So really the S-level Maulers have drastically changed this season because Galahad is the best endless damage dealer in the game. And she is the most important hero for you to be building even from day one of your account, because you want to make sure by the time you make it to Endless Dream Realm, you have Galahad fully built up to Supreme Plus minimum. So Galahad and Smokey, these are the two big S-level Maulers you want. You can get one copy of Brutus for some AFK stages. You can get one copy of Xandrock for some AFK stages. You can even get one copy of Mikola for Dream Realm content because she can work at one copy early on for Dream Realm. But really then you want to be maxing out your Galahad and Smokey and always leave Galahad on this banner. Now, after you're done with these heroes being built up, you do want to build up Mikola all the way to Supreme Plus. That is important for some, especially Blightshroom boss. And then you want to build up Shakir, minimum up to Mythic Plus, because he's also important for some Dream Realm content. But you also want to build Nazric up to Mythic Plus, because he's really good for pre-Endless Dream Realm. And we're going to have to see, is he better than Corden? Is Corden better than him? We're going to have to see about that. But basically, there are a lot of good Mauler heroes now to be building up. That is a minimum of 5 different Maulers you have to fully build out and fully invest into. In the ordering, that is just the thing which is up for debate right now. Do you go for Nazric first for pre-endless, or do you go for Mikola and Shakir, who are really important supports to have fully built up for some occasional circumstances? It's a tough decision. And then you have Xandrock as well. Building him up will help for AFK stages. Some AFK stages, it's really a lot easier if you have him built up to Supreme Plus. And also, yeah, and he's pretty good in PvP as well. Now for Paragon upgrade priorities for the Maulers, again, this is a difficult topic. If you're just fully focused, I would definitely keep Gala here, because by Paragon upgrading her, it's going to increase her damage for Dream Realm. Number one. Number two, she does deal pretty high damage for PvP. She isn't the greatest PvP, basically damage carry, but she still is good and she can be used. So I would say definitely keep Gala here. Smokey, I would say probably not. And I would say it depends. If you want to go for a PvP angle and you want to invest into Zandrock, who probably arguably is going to be the best Mauler out of these S levels, PvP hero that you can invest into. You can invest into him. You can invest into Shakira for Paragon for PvP, or you can just invest into Smokey for Paragon for more damage in Dream Realm, because right now in Endless Dream Realm the meta is really Gala plus Smokey in almost every boss top team. And so if you have a Paragon upgrade, Smokey and Gala both, your scores are going to be really nearing the cap potential. So yeah, definitely getting a Smoky Paragon is also some value for that, even though it's PvE focused. So it's tough for Maulers out there basically, but hopefully this gives you a breakdown of the important heroes and where you want to take them to. For the A-level Maulers, it's just really easy, because basically it's just Coco, who you want to build up for pre-endless Dream Realm for the tankiness, and you want to build up Kruger for some Dream Realm content as well. Basically, I've removed Odie from the list as the leading hero, because you're not going to use Odie anymore. Like, the thing is, Odie is just so far out of the meta, because if you have pre-endless Dream Realm, you're going to use Chimera. If you have endless Dream Realm, you're going to use Gala. You're never going to use Odie. There's no value behind Odie really anymore, and so you don't have to really even build them up. Like, eventually you can build them up, like, I don't know, sometimes even Ravagedrum, he's been replaced by other heroes. So, like, really, Odie has fallen off for pretty much everything other than maybe battle drills, and, like, no one really cares about competing in battle drills. So, Kruger and Coco, to begin with, to Supreme Plus, and then you can also build up some, like, the other heroes here, they don't really matter. Citrana for PvP, and, like, I mean, she used to be pretty good in PvP, and you would want a Paragon upgrade her, but the problem now is you have Mahira on enemy teams, and Mahira will prevent Citrana from applying her sparks to allies at the beginning of the match, and then it becomes really awkward, and basically she gets no value, or really limited value, and that's a problem, honestly. So Citrana has really been kind of power crept by other heroes. She still can work in some comps. You can still Paragon upgrade her, because there's not really any great targets for Maulers. But I would say always upgrade Paragon probably of Coco, because Coco can be used in PvP. She usually has a good charm quality bonus each season. And then you can choose Citrana if you want. Or you can just build up, like, most of these heroes to Supreme Plus. Like, there's some occasional uses for Gerda, Odie, Set. I mean, not really that much, but yeah, it is awkward for the A-level Maulers. When Corden comes on here, Corden will be basically probably a permanent hero for the A-level wishlist, and you'll probably even Paragon upgrade him, because there's nothing better to be building. But yeah. Okay, so the S-level Wilders, again, this is very competitive. A lot of good heroes here, but I think Valara and Iron should be your starters. You want to get Valara all the way to Supreme Plus. She should always be on here, and Iron, you want to get him to Mythic Plus for his immediate ultimate for AFK stages. Now, Iron, you don't necessarily need for all stages now, because you can use one copy of Mahira, you can use Theodore Mahira combo, but there are going to be some AFK stages where you need Iron, and so, like, if you don't build Iron, you are going to get stuck, and, like, so I still think you should keep him on here from the beginning. But another third best candidate is going to be Ravion. Ravion has pre-endless Dream Realm usage. He's also really good in PvP. He's an all-around solid hero. However, he isn't like absolutely necessary, especially for a new account, but eventually you will want to build him up. The other heroes which are important to build up are Lily May for PvP and Tossie if you want to use it for PvP. Those are some key heroes. The other heroes, Brian for AFK stages. Those are the big heroes that you want to consider running. However, Brian does have kind of niche use in AFK stages, so not necessarily the most important. Now, for Paragon upgrade priorities, you want to do Ravion, because I think Ravion is the best PvP hero out of the S-level. Ravion and Lily May, actually. These are the best true S-level Wilder heroes for PvP. So these would be your Paragon upgrade priority. Valara, you can. It isn't that important, though, because Valara is not going to be used in PvP. She's going to be used for Dream Realm. She's going to be used for AFK stages. If she's Paragon upgraded, it will make your life easier for both of those modes in your ranking. However, it isn't usually hugely game-changing. You can leave her at Supreme Plus. And you can think about Tossie, you can think about Iron. Both of them are decent in PvP. However, they're not necessarily the top tier as we have of Ravion and Lily May. So these are really going to be kind of the major priorities for Paragon. But the other ones are worth it as well. Okay, now for the A-level Wilders, you want to begin with Pheromore and Theodore. Basically, the meta is shifted. Rather than forcing Almas right from the beginning, you're going to go for Pheromore and Theodore. Pheromore will help you for AFK stages. He will help you for Dream Realm. He's a really important hero to have. And Theodore is, and you want to get both of these heroes to Mythic Plus minimum. And Theodore is really strong for AFK stages and also really good for PvP. And you'll want to get Theodore to Mythic plus 10 exclusive equipment as fast as you can, because that gives the energy boost to the ally behind him. That's really useful for AFK stages, and it's also useful for the PvP. So both of these heroes really important to be building up first. When you're done with one of them, you can swap out for Almas and get Almas built up as well. Almas has AFK stage usage right now, not as much as Theodore, but still he will have that usage. You'll want to get Almas and Mythic Plus and eventually Supreme Plus as well. But those are really the three major wilders. Other than that is Damien for PvP as a support. It's Lenya for some, like if you want to use it in PvP, but not really, she's not really used that much. And or if you want to use it for some Dream Realm, but again, she's not really top meta there. So like Lenya, I would really say you don't have to really be building in the current state. It's Pheromore, Theodore, and Almas. And for Paragon upgrades, it's going to be Theodore, definitely, because he's a really strong PvP hero. And you can even Paragon upgrade Pheromore. A lot of people do this, even lighter spender players, because that helps him for AFK stage pushing by having more stats. And you can even use him in PvP. You can use Pheromore in PvP, especially in combo with Theodore, giving that energy to Pheromore. And now with Ulna out in the meta, I know new players will not have Ulna. However, when you think about getting Ulna, melee hair hypercarry like Pheromore synergizes pretty well with Ulna. Like basically provides that protection for Pheromore. So I would say Paragon upgrading Pheromore is not a bad option. But you could also go for Damien if you want to go down that route. But even Damien, I'm not really using that much in PvP these days anymore. So I really think probably Theodore and Pheromore probably for Paragon as well. Okay, moving on to the Graveborn. Graveborns is a lot of good S levels. So Shamira and Damon, I think, should be your heroes, which are going to be sticking on the banner and be built up first. Shamira, definitely for pre-endless Dream Realm, she is still probably going to be the queen. She is good for AFK stages early on. She is really good in PvP. Shamira is a beast of a hero. You definitely want to be investing into her and be keeping her on your wish list permanently. Now, the other slot, this is the thing, right? You can get one copy of Thorin early on, which can help you. You can get one copy of Ludovic, which can help you. But then I think you should build up Daemon fully. The reason for that is before we used to recommend building up Ludovic fully. But Ludovic is also an endless damage deal for Dream Realm. And Galahad is basically power crept Ludovic out of the meta. Galahad is such a hard-hitting endless Dream Realm damage dealer that there's no room in the team anymore for Ludovic. You just run Smokey as a healer to further buff up Gala. So really, I think building up Daemon, he does have some Dream Realm usage. He's good in PvP, he's good in AFK stages. I think building these ones up, and then you can build up Ludovic. And then you can build up Thorin. Those are the big four, basically S-level Graveborns. Apart from that, for PvP specifically in Paragon upgrades, Shamira is really good in PvP as a damage dealer nuker, and Daemon is really good in PvP as well. Even along with that, Ludovic is good in PvP, so like these are all good 3 Paragon upgrade priorities. And Igor is also good in PvP. However, the thing about Igor, he's more of a luxury hero. He's in Stroll comps with Athalia mainly. If you're not running Athalia, it doesn't really make much sense to run Igor. You can still run him in Bonnie, like damage over time comps, which we'll come to. However, Igor is not going to be as, overwhelmingly meta in PvP as these 3 heroes, like Daemon, Ludovic, Shamira. So for new players, I would definitely say focus these 3 for Paragon. If you have them capped out, then you can think about Igor, but you can also skip on Igor, and like it's a better use of your resources to probably skip on him. For the A-level Graveborns, we have Volca and Bonnie. So Volca is going to be a Dream Realm damage dealer. She is in some meta teams, and mainly because of her Supreme Plus skill upgrades. So you need to rush her to Supreme Plus as fast as you can, and she can help you in Dream Realm. And she can also help in AFK stages early on. But you can also pick up 1 copy of Kalin early on. That can help for AFK stages. You can even pick up 1 copy of Nero. Sometimes that helps. But I'd say Bonnie is a second hero here. And the thing about Bonnie, she's not really using Dream Realm that much anymore. She's not really using AFK stages that much anymore, but early game, maybe she can be. She's still a PvP hero, solid PvP hero. However, even in PvP, I'm not as much of a fan of her because the meta has kind of shifted away from her and going more for like a hyper carry and protect the hyper carry comp. Like a Shamira comp, you'll want to have Kalin in the team protecting Shamira, or even Nero to take an enemy Lily interruption rather than having Bonnie. Bonnie doesn't necessarily fit that well in the current meta of PvP, but she is overall a solid hero. It's just a bit awkward for her, but I still think probably building her up second after Velka probably is going to be the best choice. Now for the other Graveborn heroes here, it comes down to it. Nothing is really that meta for like Dream Realm content, and so it mainly comes down to PvP. Now, Callan, I really think is a beast, especially with the Supreme Plus skill upgrade. I really like Callan, and I think if you are a PvP focused player, I think really rushing Callan and also Paragon upgrading him can be really valuable for you. He synergizes really well with Shamira. He slots really well into those Shamira Daemon teams. He's an overall very solid hero. Honestly, you may even want to be building up Callan before you build up Bonnie. It's a matter of decision, and also like in modes like Stellar Ascent, we've seen that Callan has been really important for some of those modes, like Callan Daemon Shamira, Callan Pandora Shamira. And so Callan, I would probably say should be your second hero you build up, or third. So if you build Bonnie first, you build Callan next after that. I think would be really good. The thing is, Nero is also good for PvP, but he's basically only for PvP. He's not going to help you much in other game modes, and that's why I think Callan probably the more solid hero overall, but you can build up both. Isabella is again just awkward, some boss content, Ravage Rum, things like that, but she's even working at low copies, 1 copy in Ravage Rum, so like you can probably make do with her at 1 low copies. And Shade Ring right now doesn't have that much usage. He has some niche usage in AFK stages, but not at all necessary or anything. So like, even though he's an interesting hero, it's like, it's not maybe the biggest priority to be building him. And for Paragon upgrade priority, I think it's Callan and maybe Bonnie, or Callan and Nero, something like that. Like either Callan Nero for Paragon upgrade, or Callan Bonnie, basically is what I would recommend, because those are basically the 3 best PvP Graveborn A-level heroes as of right now. So let's go ahead and move on to the Epic Recruitment wishlist. So the Epic Recruitment wishlist is going to be, these 5 heroes are going to be the ones you want to start off with. Pandora should always basically be on this wishlist, because she's only obtainable from Epic Recruitment, and she's an important hero for as an endless damage dealer, and also for PvP. You'll want to Paragon upgrade her as well. Now, for the other heroes, Shamira is the queen of pre-endless and also AFK stages early on, and Gala is the queen of endless, so you want to get both of them built. Valara is such an important hero for pre-endless Dream Realm and also for AFK stages, so she's a major priority to be building up. And then the 5th slot is Smokey, is really good for endless Dream Realm. He's also good pre-endless as an early game player, because he's going to heal and also provide attack buff. But apart from him, Iron, also rushing Iron to Mythic Plus would be a good option here, and to help you with AFK stages a bit more. But like, and then when you're done basically with the heroes here, you will want to go for the other big heroes that we talked about. Heroes like, you know, heroes like, I mean, there are a lot of options. I can't really give you an ordering here, but heroes like Daemon will want to be built up. Heroes like Ravion will want to be built up. And then heroes like Ludovic eventually will want to be built up. Even though he has been power crept by Galahad, he's still good for Ravage Rum and PvP. Mikola will want to be built up, and Shakir will want to be built up. There are a lot of Mauler S levels actually, so probably having a Mauler slot like on this final slot, like whether it be Nazric being built up, Shakir, Mikola, there are a lot of ones you want to build up, and so probably having a Mauler on the final slot would be nice, just to help you basically catch up to all that you need to build. So there we have it for the Epic Recruitment. Now for the Stargaze Station, number 1, for new players, you're going to want to get 1 copy of Mihira. 1 copy of Mihira, because that is going to help you a lot in AFK stages. She's completely usable at 1 copy in AFK stages. Then when you're done with the 1 copy of Mihira, then you're going to be investing everything into the twins. Getting the twins all the way up to Supreme Plus. The twins at Supreme Plus are going to help you a lot in Dream Realm, and they're going to help a lot in even AFK state. They can help in multiple game modes. You can even use them in PvP. So the twins are still the most game-changing Celestial Hypergene to be building up, and you want to get them to Supreme Plus. Now after that, you want to get Rainier to Mythic Plus. Currently, as the current meta stands, Rainier is the next priority, and you only need to build him up to Mythic Plus, because that's when he gets his damage basically debuff onto bosses, and he's really good for pre-endless Dream Realm bosses. If you don't have Rainier, you're going to lose out basically on ranking for all pre-endless Dream Realm. That's why Rainier is still a major priority, and you only have to build him up to Mythic Plus, which is an advantage. Now, after this, it really comes down to what are you targeting. If you're targeting Dream Realm, the best Dream Realm damage dealer is Aliceth, currently in the meta. So Aliceth does come up next. However, if you want to target like hybrid of Dream Realm and AFK stages, fully building up Mihira to Supreme Plus is also going to help you a lot. She's meta for Dream Realm, she's meta for AFK stages, and for AFK stages, eventually you will even want to have Mihira built up to Mythic Plus or higher, because that gives her that additional survivability which is needed for some stages. If you want to fully focus AFK stages, you'll want to build up Saida all the way up to plus 15 exclusive equipment minimum, because that is when she unlocks her blood spikes, which lock down the enemy and deal that massive damage over time, which is how you clear a lot of AFK stages at a high level deficit. So Saida is a core part of AFK stage pushing, and basically the best AFK stage pushing investment you can make for Celestial Hypogeans. If you want a hero that's good in both AFK stages and some Dream Realm usage, then you have Baelran. And Baelran is a really meta hero. And if you want to push AFK stages hardcore, you'll need to have Baelran built to Supreme Plus. So there you have Baelran. Now, if you want to focus PvP, now we just have Ulna who is released, and Ulna is really one of the key PvP heroes tech options out there, because she provides that damage immunity, great damage immunity for your other hypercarry, and it can be a ranged hypercarry, it can be a melee hypercarry. She does really well with Shamira, protecting Shamira on your team and allowing your Shamira to get off all of her damage and clean up enemy teams. So Ulna is really good, and in AFK stages, Ulna is not that like dominant or that used, but she will have some niche usage in AFK stages already that has happened in this season. Even cooler to Supreme Plus. This is not a Dream Realm investment, but this would be for AFK stages. For some AFK stages, if you really want to push cutting edge AFK stages, you're going to need to have Supreme Plus Kulu. Some stages is obligatory to have her, otherwise you'll have to always, request a synergy each time you need a Kulu at Supreme Plus for a stage. For PvP, we also have Dunlinger, great PvP tech option. And yeah, just an overall dominant hero, like along with Ulna. Dunling and Ulna are both basically the best PvP tech options in the game. And like for regular arena, you're going to be running both of them on your defense or offense. And in Supreme Arena, you'll definitely be making use of both of them if you have them built for your different teams. Adelia is still going to be a really good hypercarry nuker out of the Celestial Hypogeans for PvP. She's purely basically a PvP hero. And she has great synergy with Saida. Basically, the thing is, Saida is really dominant in AFK stages, and she's very dominant in PvP. And Ulna and Dunlinger, they just make Saida more dominant because they protect Saida for longer, allowing her to get off her ultimates and eventually even cycling until she roots your entire enemy team and just kills them all, right? And Athelia has great synergy with Saida, because Saida basically is going to remain on the field, especially with all of the support from now Ulna and Dunlinger. Saida is going to remain on the field for like at least 50-60 seconds, and the whole duration of that, Athelia can keep dealing damage and nuking, because Athelia deals damage even after she dies in her Spirit Lance form. So there's a value of that. And then you have the heroes like Frester and Harok. These are heroes which at one time were meta in Dream Realm, but now they are really falling off the cliff. They are barely hanging on for dear life and hardly seeing much usage for Dream Realm overall. So like for new players, they're not really going to be an advisable investment into these heroes. However, for older players who already have them built, it can give them some usage for Dream Realm, Titan Reavers, Ravage Realm, things like that. But like, they really are kind of approaching the end, probably their extinction for Dream Realm. And so like, they're not a worthy investment right now, because you're not going to get enough return on your investment. So anyway, guys, hopefully this is helpful. We did talk about like the key heroes here. The heroes we didn't mention basically are not that important to be building up for any major usage. Like Cryanaya, I know she has some real good utility in PvP as a hypercarry, and also if she can get off her combo, she can shut down enemy Athelias, Saidas, all the most annoying heroes basically in PvP. However, she has survival issues, it's difficult to protect her, and she doesn't really have any other usage, no AFK stage usage, no Dream Realm usage really, and so like, it isn't the biggest priority to be investing into. Unless you are the biggest of whales who can build everything. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That was going to be it for this video. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have any other tips, feel free to share them in the comment section down below. That is always much appreciated. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Good luck on your pulls. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment. And you can actually bookmark this link in your browser. And whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.